Captain Petey Shelbourne in a panic brings a wind-up monkey with drums to an antique shop and begs the seller to take it back. Petey bought the monkey for his sons but changed his mind. The seller points out that the toy is broken, one drumstick is stuck at the top. The captain says it'll be bad for everyone if it comes down. This monkey isn't a toy at all. Petey himself can't confidently say what it is. Suddenly the toy winds up by itself, cheerful music begins to play. Everything falls silent, and just a few minutes later the seller dies. Petey knew this would happen. He tries to destroy the devilish toy with a flamethrower, but it's no use. Twin brothers Hal and Bill are the sons of Petey Shelbourne. They will inherit the nightmare from their father. It's 1999. Bill is 3 minutes older than Hal, and therefore considers himself smarter. He often tells Hal that their father left because of him. But despite everything, Hal somehow managed to love his brother, in his own way. Their mother raised them alone as best as she could. Lois often remembers how her husband went out to get a pack of cigarettes and never came back. At one time she could have become his flight attendant, but it didn't work out. Petey used to bring back strange items from all over the world. Lois considered them junk, while for the boys, these items were a clue to understanding who their father was. One day while rummaging through his belongings, the boys found a box with the wind-up monkey. The instructions said to just turn the key and see what happens. Hal thought it was a bad idea, but Bill wouldn't listen. He considered himself the sole heir of their father, and thus the rightful owner of all his things. When Bill turns the key, the toy barely winds up. Disappointed, he tosses the monkey to Hal. It's broken anyway. Lois sees the boys off to school. Today their babysitter Annie Wilkes will be looking after them. Opening the car door, Hal finds the monkey on the back seat. Annie takes the boys to a Chinese restaurant, while the toy somehow appears in the driver's seat and winds itself up. When the cheerful music stops, Annie dies in front of the boys and the restaurant patrons. Soon the funeral takes place. This kind of experience should have brought Hal and Bill closer, but it didn't. The priest gives a funeral speech, saying that all events have divine purpose. But Hal knows for certain this is the work of anyone but God. At the cemetery after everyone leaves, Lois explains to her sons that life is a sequence of random events. Everyone dies sooner or later, and you can't predict when your time will come. That evening at home, Lois invites the boys to dance together to cheer up a bit. Though they spent the day at a funeral, it ended up being perhaps the happiest day of Hal's life. At school, Bill spreads rumors among classmates that their dad left because of Hal. The boy becomes the target of bullying, but he says nothing to their mother because he doesn't want to upset her. When Hal finds the monkey in his room, he's confused. How did it get there? The brothers share a room. At night while Bill is fast asleep, Hal approaches the toy and wonders aloud if it caused Annie's death. Awoken, Bill mocks his brother for talking to the toy. He doesn't want this useless thing from their father, so he happily gives it to Hal. The next day during class, Hal finds the monkey in his backpack. Noticing it, other students start laughing at him. During recess, they even bring a few crates of bananas as a joke. Hal comes home furious and insults his mother for the first time in his life. Seeing the monkey in his room, Hal loudly wishes his brother would die and turns the key. At that moment Bill walks in. The toy monkey winds up. When the music stops, Bill witnesses their mother's death in the kitchen. The funeral takes place. According to the doctors, Lois passed away from a rare form of aneurysm. Only Hal knows the truth. Here's how it works: you turn the key, and the drumsticks go up. When the monkey picks its victim, the sticks come down. The choice is random. Bill refuses to believe their mother is dead and sobs at the funeral, begging her to wake up. But Lois remains lifeless. After the funeral, Uncle Chip tells Hal that he and his wife Ida never planned to have children, but they'll take care of the boys and do their best to raise them properly. At night, Hal can't sleep and tries to destroy the monkey, but it's useless. So he throws it down the garbage chute and thinks that's the end of it. From that point on, Hal and Bill grow even more different, though they still look identical, being twins. The Zimmers take their nephews to Maine. Bill is depressed and certain that another funeral awaits them soon. Aunt Ida wishes her nephews good night, but Bill cannot sleep and keeps watching cartoons on TV. Suddenly he notices something outside the window. When he approaches, he sees the dark outline of the toy monkey. Bill wonders why his brother brought this ugly toy with him. But Hal denies it. He insists that the monkey brings misfortune and works black magic. Bill suggests testing this experimentally, and despite his brother's attempts to stop him, he winds the key. Uncle Chip's funeral follows soon after, as he dies on a hunting trip under horrific circumstances. The brothers realize they must get rid of the monkey. Since it cannot be destroyed, they decide at least to make sure no one ever finds the devilish toy, and they throw it down a deep well. For a long time, it seems that the monkey will not return. 25 years pass. Ida has never recovered from the loss of her husband. One night, strange noises wake her, and she takes a gun and goes to see what's going on. The woman checks the whole house but finds no one. Then she heads down to the basement. Suddenly the steps of the fragile wooden staircase break, and Ida falls. Soon afterward she smells burning and leans over the stove to sniff. That decision is fatal. After all those years, the monkey has returned. Hal works in a grocery store and barely speaks with his brother or other relatives. He has no friends, his life is monotonous and meaningless. Today Hal asks his boss Dwayne to let him leave early so he can see his son. It is the boy's birthday. Hal only sees his son once a year, not because his ex-wife forbids it, but because Hal is convinced he is a danger. The stepfather of Petey Shelbourne Jr., Ted Hammerman, is fond of spiritual practices and believes in otherworldly realms. He expresses concern that the boy's biological father shows no interest in his life. Ted therefore intends to adopt the boy. Hal is against this, but his ex-wife is convinced he actually wants to rid himself of that burden. Hal tries to explain that he does not. But no one listens. His ex-wife gives him 1 week to spend with his son and create pleasant memories, after which he must disappear from their lives forever. Their conversation is interrupted by the boy's appearance. Local thug Ricky breaks into Ida's house, which is now for sale, finds the monkey and brings it home. His mother remarks that the monkey reminds her of his father, with the same creepy grin. Ricky asks his mother where his father is now. She has no idea. Probably out drinking somewhere with a woman. The father and son check into a motel. Petey Jr. knows nothing about his father, not even whether he has a brother or any other relatives. Hal is reluctant to talk about his past, and the conversation goes nowhere. Hal is still haunted by nightmares about the monkey. More than anything, he fears the day it might return and harm everyone he loves. In the middle of the night, Hal receives a call from an unknown number. It is his brother Bill. They have not spoken in 9 years and have not seen each other in 11. Bill tells him about Aunt Ida's death under strange circumstances. Now Bill wants his younger brother to go to Ida's house and make sure the monkey is not there. Hal refuses but Bill hangs up. At that moment Hal witnesses a woman die right before his eyes as she swims in a nearby pool. Could the monkey really be back? Hal screams into a pillow so that Petey Jr. will not hear him. Then he wakes his son and tells him they must leave immediately. Still half asleep, the boy does not understand, and his father snaps at him. Later Hal apologizes to his son, explaining that he needs to deal with the inheritance. And they will go together, like a father and son road trip. Petey knows about the adoption and now wants only one thing from his father, honesty. But Hal cannot tell him the truth. They stop at another motel. Hal is again tormented by nightmares, this time about his mother. When he wakes and does not see his son in the other bed, he panics, already imagining the worst. But the boy had only gone out for a walk. Soon they arrive at Ida's house. Hal wants his son to stay in the car until he figures everything out, but the boy refuses. The appearance of Barbara, the real estate agent, startles them. For Petey it is a shock to discover that his father has a brother, since Hal previously denied it. But for Petey it no longer matters. After all, Hal will only remain his father for a few more days. Barbara offers to show them around the house and mentions a series of mysterious deaths that have occurred in the area in recent days. Hal asks Barbara if she has seen a wind-up monkey in the house. The woman recalls nothing of the sort. Then through a chain of absurd accidents, Barbara dies. Hal barely manages to keep his composure, unwilling to show panic in front of his son. The police arrive. An officer informs Hal that he is forbidden to leave town until the investigation is over. Hal asks his son to wait in the car before they check into the nearest motel. As the police carry out the body, locals treat it like a spectacle. Suddenly the phone inside the house rings. It is Bill. Hal says that the monkey is not in the house. It could be anywhere. Bill tells his brother to wait for his next signal and hangs up. Hal does not understand what that means. Could it be that his twin brother lives in this town? Hal flips through the phone book but does not find Bill's number. Instead, he finds the number of a certain Mrs. Monkey. Hal calls, and a man's voice answers, saying that the search for his precious monkey is over. The full horror of the situation dawns on Hal. 25 years ago, as soon as Bill guessed that it was his brother who had turned the key, which led to their mother's death, he went back to the well for the cursed toy. But by then it had already disappeared, leaving only a sign that one day it would return. And Bill began to wait. For endless years, absolutely nothing happened. But one day after all those years of waiting, the monkey came back. Bill could feel it. He saw it everywhere, the signs followed him wherever he went. But he could not catch it. Still Bill began preparing for the monkey's return and sewed a funeral suit, just like in childhood, so that he could wear it again at a funeral when vengeance was fulfilled. When Bill finally found the monkey, he began to worship its power. Every time Bill turned the key, he believed the next victim would be Hal. But up until now it had always been someone else. That same night, Dwayne, who stayed late at work, dies. Ricky, who sold Bill the monkey for $15, rings the intercom at the gate of his fortress and demands the toy back. but Bill sends him away. Then an idea comes to him. If Petey Jr. turns the key, maybe that will bring the desired result. Ricky does not intend to give up and steals bullets from his brother, who is in the military. Petey senses that his father is hiding something. Something is clearly going on. Hal tells his son that he will be much better off with Ted. These words wound the boy deeply. From the motel, Hal calls Bill and begs him to stop. So many innocent people have died because of his madness. And Petey could be next at any moment. Bill offers his brother a deal. Petey will be safe as long as he is the one turning the key, because the monkey's black magic does not affect the one who winds it. Bill gives Hal a little time to think it over and hangs up, again. Hal decides to take his son back to his mother right away. The boy is angry and upset, thinking his father just wants to get rid of him as quickly as possible. Hal admits that he never planned to have children. But that does not mean Petey was a mistake. It just means Hal never wanted certain things to be passed down the way they were from his own father. The boy is puzzled, not understanding what his father means. Suddenly there is a knock at the door. Seeing a policeman through the peephole, Hal opens it. But it is actually Ricky, disguised in a uniform. He points a gun at father and son and takes them hostage. At gunpoint, Ricky drives Hal and Petey to Bill's fortress. But the plan changes once it becomes clear that the twins are estranged. Bill demands that Petey go into his uncle's house and find the toy monkey. When the boy learns that his father abandoned him because of some toy, his confusion only grows. Hal shouts that it is not a toy but a devilish machine. That is exactly what Ricky needs. Hal cannot allow his son to go in, but Ricky gives them no choice. Before the boy goes, Hal tells him not to turn the key, no matter what happens. Petey sneaks into Bill's enormous house, where traps are set up everywhere. The boy manages to avoid them. Of course Hal realizes that Ricky is not a real cop. And in a way they are alike. Both Hal and Ricky were abandoned by their fathers as children. Suddenly Ricky notices something disgusting under the roof, a giant wasp nest. Petey sees his uncle praying to the monkey. The boy reveals himself and asks his uncle how he is doing. Bill replies that he is doing badly, very badly, because his beloved toy is broken. And he asks the boy to turn the key, hoping he will be able to fix it. Bill also says this is a Shelbourne family tradition, and if Petey, named after his pilot father, wants to be part of the family, then he must do it. After some hesitation the boy does turn the key. The wasp nest outside begins to shake dangerously. At that moment Ricky accidentally fires a shot, almost hitting himself. The monkey begins to play. Bees burst out of the nest and fly straight into Ricky's mouth. Hal realizes that Petey has turned the key after all, and he rushes into Bill's fortress. Petey refuses to turn the key again, so Bill snatches the monkey away from him and orders it to get rid of his brother. But the monkey does not obey his commands. Hal comes for his son. Now the boy finally understands why his father left him and his mother years ago, to protect them. The monkey begins to play its drum quickly and without stopping, and chaos erupts in the city. Still Hal comes for his brother. All those years Bill craved revenge, but this thing does not work on command. Hal reminds Bill that Lois was his mother too. They are brothers, twin brothers. It is a shame they did not help each other in childhood, but Hal believes it is not too late to change. Hal helps Bill to his feet, and they reconcile. But at that moment the monkey beats the drum, and Bill dies. The father and son drive away. Chaos reigns in the city, dozens of people have been hurt. Petey suggests that his father decide what to do with the monkey. Hal says they will simply admit that it is theirs and keep it with them. Suddenly a gray man on a gray horse blocks their path, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The rider and Hal silently nod to each other. The fun is only beginning.